Okay, so the battery mounts are all finished here. Put a little cross member on there that holds it nice and level, so that's pretty nice. Also got all the wires set up here. And just to explain some things here, we have black going to red here, which is gonna put this battery in series with this battery. And since this is 12 volt and this is 12 volt, when you do series, it adds the voltage. So this is essentially a 24 volt battery pack. And this is essentially a 24 volt battery pack and a 24 volt battery pack. Then we did this battery pack in parallel with the other two. So right now we have a total of 24 volts, which we'll see in a second here, but 24 volts and a lot of amp hours, and I can't quite remember how many there are, but still. So it looks like these batteries are each 12 amp hours here. Now, when I was talking before about putting them in series and parallel, in series you add voltage, in parallel you add amp hours, which is basically the duration that the battery lasts. So we're going to have 24 volts, 12 amp hours, 24 volts, 12 amp hours, and 24 volts, 12 amp hours. So when we put them all together, I believe that comes out to 36 amp hours. And then we got our two leads down here, and that'll give us power to the motor controller, which will then control this motor and that motor. Not quite sure how we're going to show you that, but we'll get there. Alright, so you can see that a couple battery packs down here, and it might be a little hard to see, but right in here, this is one battery. So if we go from positive to negative here, you can see that it's probably reading about 12 volts or so, 12 and a half. But since this battery is in series with this battery, if I go across those terminals, we'll get 24-ish volts, maybe 25. And maybe you can see that a little bit in there, 5 and a half about. So after all this, it comes down to these two terminals, which we saw in one of the last videos, that come down underneath. And if we measure between those ones, we ought to get 25-ish. Nice. So that's how we're going to do it. We got our battery pack set up, and we're ready for the motor controller.